Nationwide protest.
I believe in immigrants are not criminals.
Double coverage of the No Kings movement across the country. Reaching for the sky.
The energy in the air is just very positive.
The annual Blossom Kai Festival takes flight at our nation's capital. And making waves.
We were getting pushed up into the pace boat.
Powerboat racing goes full throttle in Tampa Bay. These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Hello, South Florida. I'm Enzo Paso.
And I'm Rachel Quendo. Today is Monday, March 30th, 2026.
Live from the Lee Caplin School of Journalism and Media in North Miami, this is Caplin News.
Over the weekend, hundreds of people gathered across the country for nationwide rallies against the Trump administration. Caplin News has your team coverage on the No Kings protest. Miami held its own No Kings protest in Calle Ocho.
Caplin News' Stephanie Claiborne has more on the story.
What began in 2025 as a nationwide protest returns to the streets of Calle Ocho.
Crowds gathered along Calle Ocho on Saturday as Miami residents joined cities across the country in the nationwide No Kings protest movement. Demonstrators held signs, waved flags, and chanted slogans demanding the protection of democratic institutions. The protests were part of a nationwide movement aimed at pushing back against what organizers and protesters describe as an abuse of political power.
It's ridiculous. He's got the tariffs going, and at the same time, he's got a war going. He's snatching people off the streets. It's horrible, just horrible.
For many South Florida residents, the message hits close to home. Miami's large immigrant community, along with Florida's changing political climate, have made the issues especially more meaningful for people here.
Here in Miami, we happen to have the special situation where we have a large immigrant population, and they are under attack.
Throughout the afternoon, speakers took the stage, urging the crowd to stay engaged and continue advocating for issues that matter most.
We have millions of people across this country coming together to support democracy, to resist authoritarianism, and to protect all of our members.
For many, Saturday's demonstration was more than just a protest. It was about making their voices heard.
Protesters say they will continue to fight for democracy. Reporting for Caplin News, I am Stephanie Claiborne.
At the nation's capital, demonstrators took aim at what they call expanding executive power.
Our DCPR reporter Cassie Martinez continues her coverage from the National Mall.
Here on the National Mall, people are rallying as part of the No Kings protest, calling for limits on executive power and government accountability.
From handmade signs to chants echoing. Across the National Mall, demonstrators gathered in Washington as part of what organizers say is the largest coordinated protest effort in the country this year. More than 3,000 rallies were held nationwide, with over 8 million people estimated to have participated, turning this into one of the largest single days of protest in U.S. history.
ICE is just looking for people. The guy that, does landscaping and does our gutters, he's afraid of being deported, and he has to take back roads. He doesn't want to even have a ladder on his truck because he's afraid that ICE will stop him.
Organizers say the movement is driven by concerns over what they describe as expanding executive power, pointing to issues like immigration enforcement, military action abroad, and voting rights.
Yeah, I believe in immigrants are not criminals. And that, and my message is, if you are a stranger, we took you in.
The protests come as a partial government shutdown tied to disputes over immigration policy and ICE funding continues. This marks the third wave of No Kings protest since last year.
I'm just really upset about what's happening to this country, and it's getting worse and worse, and I think it's important to show your displeasure.
With similar protests happening all over, organizers saying they're building momentum, with what started here in the nation's capital, building across the country. Reporting from Washington, D.C., I'm Cassie Martinez, Caplin News.
Thousands of kites took off the sky, filling it with color during the Blossom Kite Festival. The event was at the Washington Monument during the cherry blossom peak bloom. This year's theme was to honor the United States' 250th birthday. For many, simply gathering was the appeal.
Just seeing the laughter and the sense of community and the energy in the air is just very positive.
The Kite Festival is set to go on until April 12th, with several other events planned to celebrate the cherry blossom bloom.
Over the weekend, DC's famous cherry blossoms were in full bloom for a celebration of Japanese culture at the wharf. Music filled the air as local bands and high-energy performers took the stage. The event had something to offer for all ages. Art installations and photo spots were open for guests to enjoy, as well as cherry blossom-flavored Japanese sake.
I just love the vibes. Everything's really lively, and yeah, I just like it so much.
The festivities continue to stretch for the next couple of weeks as we continue to enjoy the spring season.
Ultra Music Festival in downtown Miami continues to hold mixed opinions. While residents complain about heavy traffic and high music volumes, others argue that the event generates profit and brings visitors from all over the globe. Caplin's Valeria de Souza has more.
Downtown Miami is known for its vibrant lifestyle, but during one weekend of March, it can look like this. But for other residents, it can also look like this.
Ultra, one of the biggest annual electronic music festivals in the world, takes place in our very own backyard. However, those who live in the area have a different kind of experience when big events like these arrive.
Honestly, it's unlike anything I've seen before. It's a bit chaotic, so it can really disrupt the residents that are living in the area.
Local businesses generate millions of dollars when the festival comes around. However, managers say it still affects both employees and customers who are coming in.
Sometimes you have locals or even people that are not really interested in the event but are trying to get to the mall. I would say it's a little bit tough for employees and also some patrons to make their way out here.
As Ultra's contract with the city of Miami comes to a near end, there have been talks of a potential 20-year contract. With this decision coming up soon, some of the residents who have noticed these disruptions sprung into action, including James Torres, president of Miami's Downtown Neighborhood Association.
You have to make sure that year after year, we're kind of sitting at the table to address the impact that happens. It's important to give that feedback, and they have to be receptive to that because you are in our backyard. And you should respect what you're in our backyard.
City commissioners are scheduled to vote on April 23rd whether to approve the proposed 20-year contract. Until then, residents say that they will be left with their questions and concerns still left unanswered. In downtown Miami, I'm Valeria de Souza, Caplin News.
The Miami Marlins remain undefeated.
That's still ahead, and so is this story.
I want to race next weekend. Let's go.
When we come back, powerboat racing, making waves in the Gulf. Sideline, Jose Carlos Rodriguez with our sports coverage after we return from the break.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzzed and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
There are a lot of ways to reach out to a friend about their mental health. Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
Bill is a family man. He invests his money wisely and provides a good life for his children. Just one problem. He often opens emails from senders he doesn't know. and his computer is not password protected. One day, Bill checked his bank account and 94% of malware attacks originate from emails. Don't be like Bill. Take your cybersecurity seriously.
Welcome to The Sideline. My name is Jose Carlos Rodriguez, and let's get into it. Just 3 weeks after the IndyCar opened their season in St. Petersburg, the IHRA Offshore Series decided to have a go in the iconic Florida city. Caplin's Dylan Pesay is in St. Petersburg with the roar on the water.
It's scary at the start. Like just now at the start, we had the pole, and we were getting pushed up into the pace boat. We had no room, and you got a whole ocean out there, and everybody wants to be up on top of everybody. So at the beginning there, it was like, uh-oh, what's going to happen here? We almost bumped with my main Happy, who was second in the pole, and we're like, we have nowhere to go.
The streets of St. Petersburg are well known for their racing heritage, but it's not what's on the streets that's drawing race fans this weekend. For the first time ever, the International Hot Rod Association is hosting an offshore powerboat racing series, and that series just so happens to start right here in St. Petersburg, Florida. For decades, offshore powerboats have had races in Florida, and this weekend, the season opened in St. Petersburg earlier than any season before. And while it was glass calm on the test days, Sunday saw huge winds and waves, letting the truly skilled take the charge.
I'll tell you what, it's a battle machine. It's a battle of attrition, you know. You take the water yesterday, smooth, calm, flat, gives the fans something exhilarating to see, 150, 160, and then today, you know, 125, 130 out here in this stuff, and you're crushing off waves and in the air and just bouncing all over the place.
In a class like Super Stock, where everyone runs the same stock catamaran hull and stock twin 300 Mercury racing engines, anyone can win in any event. And that was proven as after 4 years of trying, Team Bermuda scored their maiden victory.
So this is our first win. So we've been doing this, I think this is maybe our fourth year. So we had a few podiums, I think 3 or 4 podiums, but first win. So it's awesome to be here for the first race and, you know, get the confidence boost up and feeling really, really good for the rest of the season. Yeah? I want to race next weekend. Let's go.
The IHRA Offshore Series will head to New Orleans for round 2, but for Florida race fans, the tour will make stops in Cocoa Beach, Clearwater, and Key West. Reporting in St. Petersburg, I'm Dylan Pesay.
And last night, the Miami Heat fell short against the Indiana Pacers. The two teams faced off at Gainbridge Fieldhouse, where the Pacers held the lead through the first half, while the Heat trailed by just a few points. Coming out of halftime, the Miami briefly took control of the game, but the momentum didn't last. The Pacers responded in the fourth quarter, sealing the win as the buzzer sounded. The final score was 135-118. The Heat now will return home, open a 3-game homestand Monday against the Philadelphia 76ers. And the losing streak continues for the Florida Panthers, after facing a defeat back-to-back games in New York this weekend. The Panthers did not survive the cold, first losing to the Islanders this Saturday, where even with an early lead, the Cats lost 5-2. Last night, the same story. The Panthers started with good pace, but the Rangers took control of the game. 3 goals later, and a challenge to Tkachuk goal for the Panthers gave the win to the Rangers. An epic win for the Miami Marlins last night, beating the Colorado Rockies and starting the season 3-0 for the first time since 2009. It was a rough start for the Marlins. Bases loaded, put the score 3-1 in the first inning. Miami slowly but surely started to fight back during the second inning. Oda Lopez hit a RBI double, and Austin Slater added a sacrifice fly to put things 3-2. The score was locked in from there on until the 9th inning. The Rockies were 1 out away from the win, and Javier Sanoja hits a huge double for the Marlins, followed by a walk-off home run from Owen Cassey, giving the Marlins the win here at home. The final score, Rockies 3, Marlins 4. Today, the Marlins start a new series hosting the Chicago White Sox at 6:45 p.m. I'm Jose Carlos Rodriguez, and that's all the time we have for Sideline. I'll send it back to Rachel and Enzo after the break.
See us dream. See us remember. See us protest.
You matter. Your feelings matter. Your identity matters. Everything about who you are matters.
See us fight back. See us rebuild. See us shatter stereotypes. See us inspire. See us united. See us now.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
That's all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm Rachel Oquendo.
And I'm Enzo Paso. Get more news at any time at caplinnews.fiu.edu.